Right, are you ready? Hi, here we have Morspace. Morspace is display shelving. We've got the basic pack here. Basic pack I'm going to unbox now. The basic pack has 2 shelves, 14 pegs and connectors and 2 wall plates. We'll unbox. And instructions. So first up, these are the instructions. Then we've got 1 wall plate, packaging between the wall plates, stop them scratching. Second wall plate. Then we go to the shelves. We've got 1 shelf here. We've got 14 connectors. These are connectors, so we've got 14 pegs. Under here we've got another shelf under here, and we have the fixings. All the fixings are included, which we'll use in a second to put these up. I'll put this back down. Right, first up, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you that a lot of the times you'll want to put this up onto drywall. So drywall, the best fixing for drywall would be a thing called a super wall mate. So this here is a super wall mate. What I've done is I've drilled a hole through a wall similar to a drywall, a piece of gyprock or a drywall, and then this here is a super wall mate. You push the super wall mate through the wall, and then you tap it into the wall. So you tap it flush. And then at the back, this toggle comes out this way. So to start with, it's in here, and then you would have your fixing, which is your wall plate, would go over, and you put your screw in through your connector, and it goes in, and it goes into the wall mate, and it flicks itself around behind the wall. So these are included. So then what you do is you are fixing through your connector and your wall plate, and then I'm just doing this to show you how this super wall mate works. Then it drags that toggle back up in the back of the wall and tightens it up. So that's how it works. So that's in behind your drywall, and these super wall mates are included. So now what I'll do is I'll just take that back out, because I'm going to use that to fix some of these panels under the wall. So what we've got to do to start with, we've got to fix this wall plate to the wall. So we'll fix it in 4 places, 4 corners. So we'll just lightly place connectors in the 4 places that we're going to fix, which is here and here. And then we grab hold of a peg and we slip it over, because these are a firm fit. We don't want them to be loose. So we put this over and we just pull it around, and it's called turn and lock. Turn and lock. We'll put this over, turn and lock it, fix it over again. We'll just tighten it up, turn and lock, put the peg over the connector again, turn and lock. So then we are now ready to put the panel up on the wall and mark it. And we have to mark through these connectors, because we don't want screws on the face. We want it to be aesthetically pleasing, and that would be without screws. So I've got a little level line here. So what we'll do is we'll put this over to the level line, put it exactly where we want to put it. That's about the height that I would like to have it. So then what I'll do is I'll mark through the holes, through the connector, through the connector, through the connector, and through the connector. Now these are the ones that we're going to put the super wall mates on. Place that down. So we're going to put the super wall mates. Usually in drywall you would use a 6 to 7 mil drill, which is included in the fixings. These are the fixings, and the drills are included. But in the drywall it'll be a lot softer than this, so I'm drilling a larger hole to take the super wall mate, because it's in timber. So I'm using a bigger drill here. So what we'll do is we'll drill those holes to start with. These holes are way bigger So now what we're doing is we've got our super wall mates. So these are our super wall mates. So we'll just clean that timber off a little bit. Put the super wall mate in, and then what you have to do is you have to tap them flush. When you put them into drywall, you won't have to hit them this hard, because drywall's a lot softer. Remember, this is just so that you can see how the super wall mates work. We ordinarily, with a timber wall like this, we would use ordinary screws. Now what we'll do is fix one to the wall. And all we're doing is this is going through this connector into the super wall mate. You can do this with a drill bit to go into your drill, but just as easy to use a Phillips head screwdriver. So we'll leave that one, fix another one over here into this one now. Screws. So that one's going in. So now, I'll just tighten our third super wall mate. One to go. Long screws. Okay, now what we do is fix the pegs to the connectors. So what I might do first is I might put the top one on first. So now a Morspace pack has two wall plates. So we'll fit the top wall plate before we put the pegs on to make it a little easier. Fit these connectors, and then I'll put this on top. Put it on the top, and I'll mark it again. This one here, we're going to use screws on it, we're not going to use the super wall mate, so you probably don't need a drill. You can just put a pilot hole if you like, which I'll just put a pilot hole there. You can use a drill. So let's just see how we go now. We've got one more to go on top here. We've got 4 screws to go in. And these are only timber screws, because we don't need super wall mates on this one. So we screw them through the connector again. 3 more screws. It's a bit easier to line up the screws than when you're doing a wall mates. It just takes a little bit of doing. So once we've put these 4 screws in, that's the fixings, and then what we'll do is we'll then put all our pegs on and our shelves on, and then we'll be able to populate it. So here we go. So we could now get our shelf out of there, and we could put pegs on. Pegs on. The pegs have a spline. They have a certain way to go on, so that they They go around and they have grooves. And just push on there. So now what we're going to do is we've got 2 shelves and we've got another, I think, 6 pegs to put on. So I'll fit, seeing these aren't fixings, I'll fit the connector to the pegs, each one, right, so we've got them all. So now what we'll do is on this one, let's put a shelf on, the top. So we'll go in here, on, shelf on the top, and on this one I'll put a shelf on this one here. So I'll put this in here, put this in here, and then what I'll do is we'll do some hanging on the bottom. So what I might do is I'll do the same thing on the bottom. So you can put them in, you put these in anywhere you want. So now what I'll do is I'll put the shelf, put a shelf on the top. That's one shelf. So the other shelf is in under packaging here. We'll take this one, we'll put that shelf in there. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to populate this. To do that, we might just put some things on the top. We'll put some things up here. So we've got 2 shelves and we've got hanging. So let's just say that we've got a few trophies that we want to put on. We want to put some of these on here. Put some more trophies. A few more trophies up here. Let's just put one there. Put one there. More trophies now. We'll put more here. A few more trophies. So one playing golf. Here we go. There's another one. Might find another one here. We've got a few medals, so let's just put our medals. Oh, there's another trophy. So there's a trophy. It's a trophy. And then if we've got some medals, what we could do is we could hang them around here. Maybe we could. Maybe we could hang some medals here. Just if we wanted to, we could. So medals, medals. So that's one section of the Morspace. I'm going to put another one over here. I'm going to go ahead straight away with it, do exactly the same. Right. Today we have Morspace. This is a basic pack, and Morspace is a display shelving system. We're just deboxing. So we have 2 wall panels. One, this is grey. So we have 2 different colours. We have grey and we have white. There's our 2 panels. And then we have 2 shelves. One shelf here, another shelf under. We have 14 pegs and we have 14 connectors. To go with that, we have all the fixings that are necessary. We have fixings here. We've got super wall mates included to go through drywall. We've got screws that will go into the plugs for brick walls, and we've got ordinary screws in there that can be used just to go into timber. I'll put them back in there. So first up, what we do is we get 4 connectors, which the connectors are fitted in the corners of the wall plates so as that our fixings go through the connectors. The reason why we go through the connectors so that we don't see the screws on the face makes it aesthetically pleasing. So what I need to do is put a peg over the connectors, and we just slip them on, and we tighten the connector with the peg. Slip the peg, and the peg has slots in it, and the slots line up with the slots in the connector. Same thing here again. So what we're doing is we're just tightening those 4 connectors, and those 4 connectors are the ones that will be fixed to the wall. Tighten that up now, take the peg off. So then we're going to put the peg on the wall, and we're going to mark it so as that we can fix it on with some screws. So we know exactly where we're going to put it. Got one over this side, so we're going exactly the same height. So we're going here, in here, over here, same height as the other one. So that's it there. So now what we do is we go through and we mark in through the connectors onto the wall so that we can get a small pilot hole in there for the screws to go to. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. For this exercise, I'll just start small hole rather than the drill. Okay, so we'll now get 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the screwdriver. So here we go. So place that up there. Good if we had some help. So we'll go over exactly to the right position. Two. So once we've got the 4 fixings in, included in the fixings is a drill bit. Will go in your drill. So I said you can do this if you don't want to do it by hand. They're only small screws, so probably it's just as easy with a screwdriver, a star bit. Okay, so now we have the 4 fixings in. What we'll do is we will put the pegs on the fixings. So that's one. And on this, the Morspace has 2 pegboards. What we'll do is we'll fit one to start with and one shot. So then I want to fix 2 more connectors. And these connectors, they don't have screws in them, so we just fit them like this. And what we'll do with this one is we will fit 2 extra pegs in the bottom. This is where the shelf goes. This strengthens the shelf up so that it doesn't bar. So that is one part of the Morspace. So there's 2 times that in each pack. So what I'll do now is I'll put the top one on straight away. Same process again, and then we'll populate it. So I've got my 4 connectors again. Same thing, same fixings. So what I'll do is I'll tighten them up again. Just get your line them up, push it down, not right on, only part the way on and down. And what we're doing is we're doing a turn and lock. We're just turning that around until it locks, and it is firm. It's not tight, but it's firm, and that's really what it has to be. So we just turn it around and lock it. Same thing again. And we have little splines that line up between the peg. So what we'll do is we'll put it on top. just line it up with the sides, so that we can then mark through the connectors again. So as we can get some fixings, 4 fixings in each panel. So do we get the 4? Yes, we did. We'll do again, we'll just get a little pilot hole to get started with our screw. But every single thing, everything you need to fix to either brickwork or to drywall or to timber walls is included in the pack. A timber drill, you got a masonry drill. So, okay, now what we'll do is we'll get the 4 screws, the panel up again. Again, what we'll do is, we'll see how we go with the screw. So this one, we'll put shelves on this one in a different pattern than the one on the other side. Once we have the 4 screws in, as in fixings, then we'll put the rest of the pegs in and the 2 shelves on. Remember, you've got 4 pegs under your shelves. Stop it from bowing, make it nice and strong. So now we'll put 4 pegs on. Again, just make sure that get the spline correct on the way on. They fit firm. It's a beautiful firm fit. So on this one, these connectors fit to the pegs, but they don't have a fixing through them, so we can just put them in. So we've got a shelf here on this one. I put another shelf here. Shelf up here. I might put a shelf on this one. It's on there. So the shelf goes in on here. This is the shelf. Shelf just slides over. It's very, very, very strong. So now I might populate. I might put a few things on. Just put a few things on. Okay, so okay. Just get a few things happening here. Okay. That's Morspace shelving. What do you think?
Beautiful.